What's up, yo? Coop, it's Junior about.
Okay, now are you Junior and I'm Bowser? Yes, Junior here wanted to make another video to read his most recent story from the Koopalings and Bowser Jr. show.
It's another hilarious episode.
That's right, it's another hilarious episode, even though this isn't a comedy. It's another hilarious episode. I know if you thought the original Titanic was full of laughs, wait until you hear All Aboard Titanic 3. Jason's well, don't tell them what. Let me read the story to them, okay? But we should explain. We don't read every single story that Jason writes. There's lots that we haven't read, and he's done a few where the Koopalings get aboard. They go for a cruise on Titanic or Titanic 2. In this world, they don't consider naming a boat Titanic to be bad luck. They but bad stuff happens every time they go on a boat named Titanic. And here they are about to get on Titanic 3. I can't even. Jay, your creativity astounds me. I just don't know what to say. So this is episode 6 of season 6, All Aboard Titanic 3, the third edition of the Titanic. Now let me recap. The first two Titanics in your stories both hit icebergs and sank anyway, right? Right. Okay. So there was the original Titanic in your stories, which is the same as the Titanic in real life. Hit an iceberg and sank. Then there was Titanic 2, and I believe Mauser stole it first and took it to Antarctica so he could eat a penguin. Then that hit an iceberg and sank, and now Titanic 3. So this story opens at the Koopaling house. Wendy O'Koopa comes out of her room. Morton sees her and says, "Wendy, are you wearing eyeshadow? You look like a frickin' vampire." Kind of a rude thing to say. So why is he yelling about her eye makeup? He looks like Paul Stanley from Kiss. He shouldn't be complaining about his sister's eye makeup. So Wendy and Morton walk outside and they see Mauser, Clawgrip, and Triclyde, and Mauser says, "Oh my god, it's a hideous zombie," referring to Wendy. Then Clawgrip, in a rare... Clawgrip usually isn't evil at all. Mauser does most of the evil. Clawgrip smushes Wendy up into a basketball, and Mauser says, "Let the game begin." So they're going to play some basketball. Now this sounds similar to a pretty famous scene in Space Jam, Jason, where they squish Michael. Did you rip off Space Jam? I mean, it's pretty obvious you did. So then, as the game starts, Jerry the Charging Chuck leaps out of the bushes. He says, "Can I play?" And they all start playing basketball. Eventually, Morton and Wendy go back inside, and Wendy says, "Today sucks." And then Bowser appears, Bowser their father, and he says, "Okay kids, we're going to Titanic 3. Which makes it sound like they're going to the movies to see the third Titanic movie, but no, he means they're actually going to get on a boat called Titanic 3. Junior says, "Oh boy." Now the action cuts to Mauser's house, and Mauser is on his roof cleaning the gutters. Triclyde sticks his head out the window and says, "Hey Mauser, we're going to go on Titanic 3. Mauser falls off the roof in shock, and his head rolls off his body. Clawgrip says, "Don't worry, I'll put you back on your body." Birdo says, "Let's go, guys." So then the action moves to the dock at the marina where Titanic 3 is. We see Bowser, Jr., the Koopalings, and Bowsette boarding Titanic 3. Then the Brutals and Madame Brube get on. Tarantox and Miranda get on board. Mauser, Triclyde, Clawgrip, and Berto arrive, and they get on the boat. The Grouplings also get on board, and so does Gordon. Gordon is Miranda's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. He's an Asian giant hornet.
That's right. The boat makes a dinging sound to let everyone know it's almost time to leave. Usually boats blow their foghorn to do that. But Jason said, no, the boat makes a noise like a microwave. Okay. Then some music from Zelda Wind Waker starts playing. It's the music from the pirate ship level. I've never played Wind Waker. So then Topper, the leprechaun brutal. Okay, why don't you get back in the video? Are you alright? Is your ear okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So, Topper, the leprechaun brutal, says, what are we gonna do, sister? Harriet says, we're gonna go on a cruise. Madame Brood says, it's dangerous to cruise alone. Take this. She hands them a sword. So that's cute. Then we move over to the Koopas, and Tarantox and Miranda are with them. And Tarantox says, so Miranda, since we're together now, what does your ex look like? Miranda says, he's a Japanese or Asian giant hornet. Morton says, what's your ex's name again? I forgot. Suddenly, Gordon appears, but it's not the real Gordon, it's a clone of Gordon. And the clone of Gordon appears and opens the door to the room that everyone's in. And the Gordon's clone says, yo, Miranda, who's the jerk face? Miranda says, Tarantox is not a jerk face. Gordon's clone jumps out of the nearest window and falls into the water, exploding. He explodes. Oh, and when Miranda says Tarantox is not a jerk face, he says, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So he falls out, he jumps out the window and falls in the water and explodes. Then, another one of Gordon's clones flushes the toilet and opens the restroom door. I wasn't aware Gordon had clones. Oh, Jesus, Jay. God. Alright, calm down. So, Gordon's clone comes out of the restroom and says, whoa, do not go in there, everybody. Then that clone jumps out the window and falls into the water, exploding. Suddenly, the real Gordon shows up and starts slamming into the side of Titanic. Harriet gasps and says, did you hear that? Madame Brune says, don't worry, it's probably just a giant hornet. Gordon flies into a window and he attacks the Groupas. He stings Cutie Pie's butt and she starts throwing a huge tantrum. Grouser starts yelling at Cutie Pie and says, here are your two choices, baby cakes. Either you be good or you will rot in my dungeon. Which I don't think is fair to yell at your daughter. She's throwing a fit for a reason. She got stung on the butt by a giant Asian hornet. So Gordon flies into the Koopa's room and says to Tarantox, do you swear you're not a jerk face? Iggy Koopa gets up and starts doing his famous butt slapping routine. Tarantox says, stay over here, guys. Things might get messy. Tarantox and Gordon start fighting for Tarantox and Gordon start fighting for dominance like two male elephant seals. At this point, Titanic 3 sails past an iceberg. It doesn't hit the iceberg, but it goes past the iceberg. Everyone on board starts freaking out anyway and screaming for their lives. They all start getting into the lifeboats to escape, even though Titanic 3 has not hit the iceberg. The boss music from Mario is Missing starts playing, and guess what? The boat explodes. Somehow, the Koopalings escape Titanic 3's sudden explosion, and they return home. Back at home, Bowser says, I hope you kids enjoyed Titanic 3, which seems like an insane thing to say after the boat exploded. Junior says, the day was great. Bowser says, come here, kids, and he hugs them all. Wendy says, I was having an awful day. The end. Jay, you have been super giggly through this whole... And when you get super giggly, you get super screamy. Now, are the Koopalings... Are the Koopalings or the Grouplings ever going to go on the Hindenburg? Do you know what the Hindenburg is?
No.
It's the giant what do you call it, blimp that crashed in New Jersey and burst into flames. They should just start going on all the big disasters. They should.
What? Point and 9 11.
No, I will not let you write a story where the Koopalings go on the plane that did 9/11. I won't allow it. That's where I'm drawing the line.
Hindenburg is a great idea.
Alright, folks. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you all.
Bye.